kwa ukombozi wetu. Tujitoe wenyewe, tusimame pamoja kulinda uhuru na umoja wetu. Enyi bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote, tuimbe pamoja, kuenzi shikamano hatima yetu. Tujitoe wenyewe kupambana pamoja, uhuru na umoja vitawale. Enyi bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote na tujibidishe kutoa kilicho bora kwa Afrika. Chimbuko la wanadamu, chemchemi ya utamaduni, tumaini letu wakati wa mafarakano. Enyi bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima.
Welcome. Good evening, our viewers all over the world, and welcome to the Humanist TV Africa. My name is Nandip Andrew Bongfa, a director in Humanist TV Africa, a panelist. I welcome you for today's show. Please subscribe on our YouTube/Facebook channel at Humanist TV Africa. Please. And you can also write to us to info@humanisttvafrica.com. You will also, follow us on WhatsApp on plus +56,767. Today we bring you another interesting episode. That is episode 3 of the KATO and the Gang. The title, which is Religion, Logic, and Rationale. This is the third episode. We have our panelists here. We have our big brother, KATO Mukasa from Uganda. He's welcome. Yes. And we also have Nana Demka, also great panelist from Ghana. Nana, you are welcome too to this great show. Now, these three gangs, we are going to discuss on religion, logic, and rationale. You see, everybody in this world believes in religion in one way or the other. No, we all grow up into religion, but the religion that we grow up into, especially in me, is that of the tradition of the Tarok people. Until later on, during my teen years, I was introduced into the Christian religion through my mother, and it continues. About the religion, I know the tradition and the culture of the Tarok people, and I know also of the religion of the Christianity. When I start, talking about the Bible, many people says, why attacking the Bible, not the Quran? My reply is, I don't know anything about the Quran. So what I know or what I've read, that's what I always talked about. You see, we don't make ourselves to become, what we are today. We find ourselves in different aspects of life. Like if we are born in Kano State, where the population of the people there are Muslim. I may be a Muslim, but I was born in central Nigeria, Middle Belt, Plateau State, Tarok. So of which the people of the Middle Belt, they are all kind of a traditional believers, or they follow more of culture. Now, to talk about religion. So religion has not helped us as Africans as a whole that we are discussing about. During our forefathers' time, according to their own traditional belief, it worked for them in one way or the other. They may believe in it, like maybe when the rain started, they would pray that the rain should come. There's a particular point in time, but in a logical way, they know that this is the period that the rain will come. So there's a festive period that started around March and April. Everybody knows that the weather here started getting hotter, of which is set for the rain to fall. Now, and immediately after this, those festive period, in our culture, we call them a Malkan, of which after it, you will see that rain falls. This is their own logic, and it works for them. It's not like that of the Christian logic that we keep praying. If the result didn't come, the pastor or the imam, whichever religion that you belong to, they will say the appointed time is coming. You can see that our people were, keep on doing the same thing all over again without getting any result. You see that they don't have that logic or that rationale to think out of the box that, yes, I've been doing this thing for a long period of time and I've never had any result. Why can't I change and do the other way around? Like this year, when I planted a maize inside swampy area. Instead of planting rice, that maize will grow, but it will not produce anything because the water capacity of that swampy area is much. Instead of me planting rice, I will plant what? Maize, which is wrong. So in religion aspect, whether it's a Christian or you are a Muslim, try to think out of the box. Try to come out of that shell, that thinking, and join the wider populace that think very, very deeply. Like you can be a humanist or maybe a free thinker, so that you cannot follow the popular people that usually do something all over again without any result. So as humanists all over the world, they are into religion in one point or the other, either as a Muslim or as a Christian. So they decide and knows through their research and kind of reading, they knows that, oh, this thing doesn't make sense, and this thing, there's no result in what they are believing in the first place. So you discover that most of the countries in Europe and America, that is, they are now abandoning the religious belief of their foreparents, that is embracing humanism, atheism, some even free thinkers, because they believe that religion of their parents is not helping them. They will only go and sit in the church and waste their time without any proper result getting from them. So in logical thinking, they knew that their reasoning tell them that yes, there is nothing coming out there. Like the sick people now, when you go to a church, especially here in Nigeria, you see a big church and with a lot of people, you see miracle being performed and all that. All those miracles that they are being performed in the church, they are all fake. is why are there more sick people in the hospital? Eh? And why are the pastors themselves get sick and then they take them to the hospital, not their fellow pastor or prophet praying for them? So this kind of thing, the followers or the members supposed to have a concrete, reasoning or thinking of they have a kind of have a free rationale to kind of, differentiate between what they are telling them, whether it's true or whether it's false. But because they are called sheep, so they don't have that brain or that logic to think that way. You will see that most of the pastors, the prophets, and those leaders, when they get sick, they will flew themselves to Europe, America for treatment. But the followers, they will end up dying. They'll only give them what? Holy water and oil. They said, go and fast. Someone that is dying, what did he need? He need medicine, he need medication, he need good food to eat, to gain and antibiotic to recover his sick health. But they will give their followers something that is not even, there's no nutrient, or something that is not even proper for them to take. They'll give it to them, or they'll apportion a part of the Bible for them to go and read. That read some read some this, read Matthew this, read Matthew that. You see, they will keep believing, they will keep until they die wretchedly. With that, their sickness, they are still going to take their money, the little one they have, they are going to give it to their pastors and prophets and whatever they call themselves, for blessing, for prayers. You see, there is no logic in what the Christians or the Muslims are doing. Look at Nigeria. I always give an example of Nigeria. You see, upon all, we have a lot of churches and everybody is a Christian. Many people are Muslim. That is most of the people here in this country, they are believers. And they are, the texts, their religious texts, that is their holy books, told them to be honest, to be straightforward. You should not cheat, you should not lie, you should not steal for anybody, you should not follow somebody's one. That is part of the Ten Commandments. But look at it today. Reverse is the case. The numbers of corruption last week, that is in this 2024, that happened in Nigeria, is so massive. One person or two people, they will siphon billions, that is hundreds of millions of dollars for one or two people. Now, this money is meant for poor people, for palliative, for those who have disaster, for last year flood. But two greedy people will corner this money. And these people goes to church, goes to mosque. What is the logic there? The logic there is for them to think on how to steal, to cheat, and to embezzle things for themselves. They don't think deeply for the general populace like the humanists usually do. We are for humanity. That's why I'm appealing to people to reason and be free and become humanists. Then you will not be afraid of your pastors, maybe calling you a witch, or your pastors calling you a Satan, or your pastor calling you a devil, because you know that those things, they are not there, because you have that logical thinking. You are rational enough to think and to reason for yourself, not for them, those pastors, imam, and bishop, to be thinking for you. Humanists always think for themselves. Humanists know what is good for them. Humanists are just like goats. Goat, you cannot put them in one place. This will go this side, the other one will go this side. Not like sheep that will be going, even though a trailer is coming, you will come and crush all of them. But goats, no, because they are so wise, they are so clever. I'm not saying that all humanists or atheists are clever. No, we have dumb humanists, we have dumb atheists. But like 90% of humanists, they have logical and rational thinking, and they know how to, is to see what is good and what is bad, and they do what is good for the good of humanity. and leave what is bad, so that they can't get anything that is bad, that doesn't make humanity progress. So today's topic, which we have been discussing this for 3 days today, which is the third episode, we'll still continue about this topic, that is KATO and the Gang, religion, logic, and rationale. Thank you. Let me stop here so that Nana, so let's hear from you. You are welcome once again to KATO and the Gang. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, my senior comrade Nandip, and I hope you guys are doing well in Nigeria. By the way, the AFCON is on, and we were defeated, and Nigeria too. Upon all the players they have, nothing happened. They drew, and we are hoping for them to lose again, because their lose is our happiness. Yeah. Thank you. And Uganda, do Uganda play football? Because please do. In Uganda, do you have football pitches? Because I haven't heard Uganda in any football match before. Okay. Thank you very much. And yes, the topic we are treating today, I think, is a very intellectual topic. And to delve into it, we have to understand what even religion entails, because we just can't handle the bull by the horn. But sometimes you have to feel the bull for the bull to trust you, and you can do whatever you want with the bull. So there are components of religion which must be brought and must be drawn into attention. One component is the doctrine of religion. Every religion have these 4 components, which makes it a religion. Doctrine, and that religion also have a sense of community, and religion also have one factor, which is it shouldn't be questionable, and the last one, I think, it shouldn't be criticized. And they also have this cult or these rituals they usually do. So these components, if we analyze it, we will understand where these our religious neighbors, our religious family are coming from, because they are bent on agreeing and kowtowing to a certain doctrine. If the doctrine tells you to wake up early in the morning and face the east and bow down 3 times or a number of times, then you adhere to the doctrine. You don't think about whether doing it or not have any consequence. That one is not, because you are religious, you have to adhere to the doctrine. You put that one aside. One other factor is all religion must have this sense of community, and that's why you usually say it's a cult. This afternoon on my show, Fake Men of God, I did something about old Peter Popov of United States, who is still raking in. He's even selling his house in California for 8.1 million US dollars. Someone who, but he has a cult from the 80s. People have been following him from the 80s. So upon all this expose, James Randi was able to expose him that he was using this wireless microphones to get people information, to tell the people their names, their addresses, and their sicknesses, which was at that time was a miracle. So you have to have that community, and until now, the community of Peter Popov is still following him. Let's talk about Jim Jones. Jim Jones have a community, the people's, because the People Assembly or what, yeah, and he killed nearly 1,000 of these cult church members. So every religion to have a community in which they relate with one another. They relate with each other. So all religions are cults, but usually the one we refer to cults are religion that usually hides their rituals and their activities, and we tend to call them cults. Or the fewer the members, the stranger that religion is. So you think, I forgot. I have this video page. One pastor and the wife and the daughter were walking naked because they believe Adam and Eve were, when God created Adam and Eve, there wasn't any clothes on them, and they were walking naked in the streets, and the whole community was following them, jubilating. And the wife was a good-looking woman, all of them naked, and the daughter. The sad aspect of it, the daughter was a very young girl, and she has been indoctrinated to follow the father and the mother. So and she was a teenager. So imagine her schoolmates and the rest. Even I don't know if she even attends school. So all religion must have this sense of community to belong. So if your other people find your religion unusual or or weird, you can fall back into the community and be accepted. Yeah. So most religion have this community, and the community also comes with this religious practice that maybe you have to go to church every Sunday. That more or less the ritual, and also one aspect of religion, it is two, but we have abandoned them into one. It's the unquestionability of religion. You need not question religion, because the moment you start to question religion, it is no more a religion. You don't have to question a religion. Do not question that religion. And one aspect of it, you should not criticize that particular religion. This is where the logic and rationality breaks with religion. That's why religion is irrational. Let me be straightforward. Every religion is irrational, because if you have to apply rationality to it, it no longer becomes religion, because at the end of every epoch in life, at the end of every stage in life, there are new things that comes into the system. If new things have to to be bring on board, it makes that sort of religion not stable. It's more or less it's a rotational religion. Let's take this deeper life. We grew up knowing deeper life. It is abomination to use a television in a deeper life church. You don't use television. It's God hates you and all that.
Nandip, you are mute. Nandip, you muted yourself.
Yes. Thank you, Comrade Demka, for your talk. We really appreciate you. Religion is occultic, according to what we read from Nana discussion. So religion is also irrational. Religious people, they don't think very, very well, because their thinking is very, very shallow, and their thinking is being wired through those people that controls them. That is their leaders. Mostly, the Muslims, they are into that. When they said go and kill in the name of Allah, they will go kill and destroy it. It's happening here in Nigeria every time and every day, because they are fighting the kafir, who is a kafir, an unbeliever. They are fighting him so that they will have reward. Even though they died, they are going to have reward in where? In paradise. Where is paradise? there's no paradise. They will point into the sky that up there is paradise. We know that paradise is nowhere. You see, weapons of mass destruction, the Quran and the Holy Bible. Those are things that people believe in. They use the Quran, they use the Bible, to kill. All the bloodshed is started from the Old Testament and the Quran copy from it. They are all about killing, destruction, putting people's life in danger because of what? There is a reward for killing a human being that doesn't believe to them, that they call that person a witch or an unbeliever. You will see a Muslim man will prefer to die. He will prefer so that they can go and get what? 100 a virgin in heaven, because they are all about what? Fantasy and enjoyment, that they will enjoy. They will not touch wine here, they will not drink, but they drink wine, secretly. These Muslim folks, I've been seeing them doing that, but they are going to drink the best wine in heaven. So they are just fooling up themselves because they don't reason very well. They don't, you can see, they will give you this. We have beautiful women here on earth, but they are the one that they have in heaven. Their clothes are covered, So a reasonable person, a person that thinks logically, you know that these people are just missing off. All the enjoyment is here on earth. That's why we, the humanists and atheists, we prefer to enjoy ourselves here and die here, because there is nothing like heaven and there is no enjoyment anywhere from anywhere. So thank you, Comrade Dimka, Nana, Apia, for this wonderful. You still come back again so that you can give us more. Let me go to our boss, Comrade KATO UK. You're welcome, sir. Thank you.
Sir Nandip Bongfa, how can sir, how can I be a boss of a sir? Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here, and of course, I'm happy that you are moderating this show. It's a wonderful show. Thank you for moderation. Sir Nandip Bongfa, the leader of Tarok tradition, the owner, the defender, the gatekeeper of Tarok culture, the man with the hoodie right there. We have had your thoughts, and here I have a comment from my hobby. My hobby is called Cats Esau. He writes as Cats Esau on Facebook, but of course at Makerere University, his name is Katende Esau, a man with a Munyankole man with a Uganda name. But that's what said. Katende has said, Cats Esau has said, he sent here a question. Not a question, observation, actually, I'm going to read it. He said that he was talking to you, Nadip, but I've replied him on your behalf. Listen, he said, there is a saying that every dark cloud has a silver lining. Don't you think it applies to religion as well? Isn't there a slight silver lining that you can see through your so-called logical thinking blog? That is Katz, as I was sending that message to you. Katz is my hobby, I told you. We met at Makerere University. He's a literature teacher. So he's a teacher of English literature, and he taught literature for a long time. So this is what I replied to Katz, my friend Katz, and of course, I want to encourage you, Esau, to please subscribe to our YouTube channel, because one day, I'm going to feature you here, and we debate and we argue, because we are an intellectual who knows books and literature. I trust your brain, so I'm going to invite you here one day. You wrestle with Nandip and the rest of us on these issues. Now, this is what I told Katz. I said shots fired at Nandip, and here I said this is what Nandip was saying, that you cannot mix. You cannot mix. I want to say you cannot mix logic, religion, and rationale together. That religion is intolerable to logic and rationale, and religion is irrational. This is what I thought you had meant. And Katz said, yes, I agree. It's irrational, but it can't stop a reasonable person from discerning the darkness from the silver lining. This is what my brother Kat says, that yes, we accept that religion is irrational, but it cannot stop a reasonable person from discerning the darkness from the silver lining. No, it can. It can actually. Esther, I disagree with you. It can, because, of course, Nandip has answered you, and of course, my friend in Ghana, Nana Kufu, has answered you. They have been giving examples. In fact, if you go back into our shows, you will see instances where even once you were so religious, because I know Katende is not so religious. The guy who's writing this, I know him, is not very religious. He's very sober. He's very, very reasonable. He's an intellectual. He's a literature, which means that philosophy, has these things. It's trying to argue with you guys that actually you can be religious, but you can be able to discern between right and wrong. This is what it's saying. That is a moderate Christian. That is a moderate Muslim. Now, if someone is a radical Muslim, will never listen to logic and reason. Now, if someone is a moderate one, I know moderate Muslims who take alcohol. Nandip, have you seen them? I've seen them. None of my friends are moderate Muslims who take alcohol. They are so moderate that actually some of them live a lifestyle that is not befitting a true Muslim. They don't fast, they smoke, they drink, they party, they do everything. I've seen Muslim girls who wear miniskirts, they are very free. Now, those are moderate ones. Yes, a moderate Muslim can actually discern between fiction and reality. Can say, yes, I'm a Muslim, but I don't agree with this kind of thing. That one is moderate. But Nandip is talking about a radical Muslim. Not so? Am I wrong, Nandip? You are talking about a radical Muslim, a radical Christian, a person who can say, I'm going to fast for 40 days without eating a full meal. A person who says, I'm going to be going in church Monday to Sunday, I'm going to be going to church for overnights, I'm going to be going to church for lunch prayers. That person is not rational. This is what the topic is all about. That there are those who are not rational at all, but there are those who are still Christians but rational. People like Esau, I want to assume you're a bit of Christian, but still rational. You can say, no, this is wrong. Because we're educated, you can think for yourself. But there are guys who are not rational at all. If the Quran says A, it must be A. If the Bible says A, it must be A. In fact, in the Bible and the Quran, there are lines which say, whatever has been written here is the word of God, and no one must add or subtract anything. Now, if the Quran tells you no one must add or subtract anything, it means it's binding you. Now, when you say, the Quran says don't take pork, and you take pork, are you a rational Muslim? Yes. You are saying the Quran cannot decide for me. Don't take alcohol, and you take alcohol. It means you are disagreeing with the Quran. But you say, after all, I'm still a Muslim, but a moderate Muslim. Mazrui, Professor Ali Mazrui, one of the best researchers from Africa, said that he wrote a book, Good Muslim, Bad Muslim. And remember, Mazrui is a Muslim, Ali Mazrui. He was called a good Muslim. So he wrote a book, it was actually called a Bad Muslim. The book is Good Muslim versus Bad Muslim. It's showing you that there are issues where people are defined by their religion, and then they are separated from being good or bad. The West defines almost every Muslim, I'm saying almost every Muslim, as a bad one. When you say, I'm Abdallah, they say, you are Abdallah? You are from which country? Iran, you may be a terrorist. Iraq, you may be a terrorist. Yemen, we are going to investigate Somalia. Somalia, no. You're not coming in here. I mean, there is a bias. The book is about bad Muslim and good Muslim, and shows you a picture how the West is defining Muslims by virtue of their religion and culture. So to go back to what Esa was saying, in the conclusion, is that when you are a radical Christian, There are things you don't accept to reason. Yesterday, I was talking to a friend on a platform who told me that her parents, her Muslim parents, refused her to marry a Christian boyfriend. And I've also known guys belonging to the Seventh-day Adventist Church, SDA, Seventh-day Adventist Church, guys who were refused to marry Christians as long as they are not SDA. You get it? They are in the same Christianity, but they say if he's a Catholic, cannot enter our house. Now, where is the rationality there? So this is what Nandip is saying, that once you are so staunch in religion, rationality goes out of the window. Critical thinking goes out of the window, because what's wrong with me marrying a Muslim girl? Nandip, if I love a Muslim girl, she's called Aisha, she's called whatever the name, Farida, and we're okay. Why should it be a problem for me to marry a Muslim girl? But sometimes a family is going to say, do not marry, because me, I'm an infidel. By not being a Muslim, I'm an infidel. I'm not religious. I'm not worthy to be part of the Muslim family. So this is the topic for today, that sometimes the religion dwarfs reasoning and rationale and logic. As long as the person having this religion is irrational and is not a moderate one, is radical. That's why someone can say Allah Akbar and picks a gun and shoots people in a supermarket. We have seen them. Picks a gun, goes to a supermarket and say Allah Akbar and shoots innocent people in a supermarket. He gets a bomb, straps it on himself, goes on a plane, goes in a school, goes in a supermarket and detonates it and kills hundreds of people. He's okay. Why? Because the religion, as the poster there says, is fraud. It has conditioned you to think that you are righteous, and when you die, you're okay. So as the poster there says, the religion is a fraud. These religious lies and delusions have enslaved humanity for far too long. I agree with you, Dennis, with that kind of poster there, that someone is willing to kill others to appease God and go to heaven. And when I was watching these documentaries of these militant Muslims, the children are told that when you die for Allah, it's a straight path to heaven. They call it Jannah. They have schools called madrasa. Have you ever heard about madrasa on Nandip? Schools where they take younger boys and girls who are Muslims to be trained Quran. Those schools are called madrasa. I know them in Uganda, and I know they are there in Northern Nigeria. What do students learn in madrasa? They learn everything bad. They are intolerant. They are taught their Allah is the only true God. They are taught that it's okay to die for Allah. They are taught that it's okay to kill others for Allah. Now, if someone doesn't value life of a Christian, Nandip, you come from Nigeria, where I have seen videos of Christians being burnt alive by Muslim radicals, not Muslims, but Muslim radicals. Samuel Deborah was one of them, and many others. Christians who are killed by Muslim fundamentalists, and their claim is they are Christians. Now, if someone is willing to kill a Christian, so being a Christian, is that person thinking critically? No. Is that person logical? No. Therefore, can we say that religion can mix with logic and rationale? No. And we're talking about fundamental religion, extreme religion, radical religion. They are modest one, we are saying. But we're talking about radicalism, where someone thinks it must be like what the Quran says. And we're saying in this topic that, look, religion cannot mix with logic and rationale. If someone is obsessively religious, there's no way they can do it. In Europe here, there were times when we talked about the holy people, they were called the Puritans in the UK. Go and read the history of the UK. The Puritans at one time banned even holidays. Christian was banned, was stopped in the UK for some time. It was a regime of the Puritans. The Puritans could kill their own children for not being poor enough. The Puritans would ban people on the stake. They put you on a tree and burn you because you are not holy enough. These were Puritans in Europe. There was a time of Puritans. There were times of dark ages where people were radically Christians. They couldn't tolerate anyone, where atheists were banned alive. Right in the UK, go read your history. Now, guys were burning atheists alive. Guys were burning witches alive. Can we say these people were rational? Were they using their brains? No. Were they using their logic? No. When you read history, there was a time the Romans called English people barbarians. Go read your history. Why did the Romans call English people barbarians? Go read your history. Why? They called them savages. They never called them English. No. They used to call them barbarians. Why? Now, these are ages we have gone through that shows you that sometimes when you are crowded by so much religiosity, this one goes out of the window and you are crowded by your biases. Now, I want to end here by reading two comments, one from Kat's Esa and another one from John. I saw another comment there. Dennis, you're going to help me put the other comment after this one. This one, Kat says that, Kato, I strongly agree with you. Radical believers are really caged birds. I have a lot of issues. I disagree with my pastors. For example, I'm a Christian who will never believe in Christmas. You see, I told you. Now we are agreeing with my brother. This guy is my friend, of course. That's how we are agreeing now. Doctrines like slaves, be obedient to your master. However, religion has contributed a lot to creating harmony by helping people control their temper, by keeping some hot-tempered, meek, and some. I agree with you, Esau. You, my brother Esau. I agree with you. Yes, religion has done some good. In fact, one day we shall come here and talk about the goodness of religion. Like I told you that my mother is a Christian, and I will never quarrel with my mother. She's almost 80. She says, God bless you. She's happy with her God. So religion is good to her. So Esau, I agree with you 100%. Dennis, give me that last comment from one comment from a person called John. John says, John Neda says, if you are really an intellectual, then you love a religion because it has no value or truth in it. It's completely incompatible with reality. Science, of course. Pretending to know stuff without proof is lying. Thank you so much, John Nada. You see, these are very healthy comments we are getting today. Nandip, you are the host today. I'm handing it over to you, sir. Back to your show, and you close it.
Yes, thank you, Comrade Katu. And you see, there's a post here that says, slave, Jesus help me. Jesus said, slave, obey your earthly master with respect and fear and sincerity of heart, just as you will obey me. These are rubbish, that the Christians, through the missionary, came to Africa to introduce. The Christians, that's the Christian religion, they try to show that, yeah, they have a positive, side of it. Let's balance it a little bit. They have a positive side of it. During the colonial era, what they do is to introduce what they call education. The white man education. We in Africa, we have our own way of educating our young ones. So with that education, it's not that truly they really want us to be wise and be educated. No, they really want us to can be able to communicate with them freely so that they can be able to control us the more. That's why you can see a lot of people in Nigeria here, they speak very good English. They appear very, very responsible, but they don't think normal. That is, they are illogical. They don't reason, and they have irrational way of doing things. If not so, the education that the European people introduced through the colonial, that is the missionary to Nigeria and other African countries, it could have made us to what? To become a great continent. But no, rather Africa, they call Africa the third world country. Look at India, they're based on their own languages. Look at China, they're based on their own languages, and they are progressing. But look at us here in Africa. Some French people colonized them. Some of the country, the English colonized them, and it's a way of making us going backward as Africans, not to progress. So as that missionaries, those colonial master that brought this education to us help us? No way, they didn't help us. They said you must have to pass English or French before you get any good job to do. Am I an Englishman? I'm not. I'm a Tarok man. Teach my children with my language. Write curriculum in Tarok. Then we can be able to, compete with other European and Asian nations that develop. But no, in Africa, we have been sectionalized, bastardized through the help of these religious people. And the same thing that happens in the North Africa. You see, the Arab people came there and used their Arabic religion of a thing. They destroy any other way of doing things, both logical and rational. They introduced their barbaric way of learning. You must have to read the Quran. That language that is very difficult to understand. You see, there's a post here that Africa breeding pastors. And then the China producing engineers and doctors. This is what I'm talking about. Yes, because the Europeans, through their use of missionary, they really put us backward. The Chinese and the Indian, they never, although they were there, but they allowed them to use their own languages, to teach, to progress. If you are told in your language, you will understand it more better than another man's tongue. Yes, you can see now the difference between the African children and the Chinese or the European children. You can see here, our African children, they close their eyes, join their hand, and what? They are praying. And the Chinese children, they are there on the lap, table, drawing or discussing things about science and technology. If you close your eye, how will you see what and do things that is it can help you? No. If you join your hands together, you cannot be able to move freely and produce things. Our eyes should be open, and our eyes should be open, our hands will be open too, so that we can use our hands, our eyes to see things and to create a lot of things through our imagination that we have, through our thinking, our logical thinking, through our rationale. If I make a mistake, I can be able to correct it. Than to be closing your eye and folding your hand together. You are what? You are zero. You are doing what? Nothing. There is no God listening to our children prayers. They said the prayer of a child, God answered. That's what the pastors and the prophet usually tell their followers. But no, reverse is the case. Those children that usually spend their times in the Sunday school, they should use that time, to learn one or two things at home. Now look at this now. Here, he said, heaven, a powerful brainwashing tool created to make you forget your purpose on earth, just to dream of a paradise that did not exist. I love this. A powerful brainwashing tool, that is heaven, created to make you forget your purpose on earth, just to dream of a paradise that do not exist. Yes, in the Old Testament, it's like that. When the Exodus Bible is telling us that manners fall from heaven, and a lot of people up to now believe in it. When you go to church, they will tell you that yes, when you pray to God, He will make a miracle happen, and something that you didn't even expect, it will come. That is a lie, and that's what they enjoy telling people: lies, lies, lies. And the sheep that follows them, they believe in them as complete truth, truth and truth. And I am telling them that it's lies upon lies upon lies, because they are so daft and they cannot reason, and their head has been padlocked. Yes, look at this. Don't feed your babies the same lies. God, Jesus, Holy Book, etc., that you ate from your parents and guidance. And he moved further to explain more and more and more. You can see a big chain and padlock, and key on the head of a child, because what? He has been brainwashed right from the childhood and has been configured that way. When he grow up, he will reason that what he has been told. He doesn't have way of changing it. You see, that's why the Christians and the Muslim usually take their babies, their children, to school, to the Sunday school, to the Quranic schools. But in the culture, you will never take a child to, well, what are you going to tell a child in culture? Until when he reach a age, a grown-up person, a mature person, before you reason, okay, now it's time for me to be what? Initiated into the groove, to understand the real world. Yes, because culture deals with reality, reasoning, and rationale, not the religion of Christianity and Islam. These people manipulate children when they are small. They stand by it. That's why when Comrade KATO is talking, he said, yes, they can be able to kill. They did that to the border, and now they carry our friend Comrade Mubarak is in jail now, because they said he insulted Prophet Muhammad. Who is Prophet Muhammad, by the way? A pedophile, a robber, is even an atheist.
Yes, Commander is a bit off.
It's not a Christian.
Continue.
Hello? Yes, it's not at that time. Muhammad is not even a Christian. It's not even a Jew. It's not even a pagan. It's an atheist, a dangerous atheist at that. Yes, because that is an unbeliever. At that particular period, there is nothing like Islam when Prophet Muhammad is growing up. There is paganism. What according to the history that I read, there's a paganism, there's Christian, and there's Judaism, and he was none. He was none among those three. So, but when he become so radicalized and then brainwashed, he decided to create his own religion and force people to believe in it. And if you don't, and have some gangs and supported by some, Arakia people, if you don't, you'll be killed. And that, if they come to your community, they destroy you, kill everyone, leave the small children. So children are the tools to be used for a future, destruction, especially in Islam and Christianity. Religion, logic, and rationale. Logic and rationale is out of religion. Whether it's Islamic religion or a Christian religion, logic and rationale is out of it. And when you try to challenge this, you'll be an enemy. And a point they will join their forces together.
Yes, network issues, of course, right there in Nigeria. Nandip Bongfa, son Nandip Bongfa is in Nigeria, giving us his take. He's the host of this show today, and he was giving us his take. Thank you so much, all of you, the viewers, especially those who have been able to give us your comments. Attend the SRMI OB from Makerere University. Wishing you all the best, and of course, I'm encouraging you and John and everyone watching us for the first time, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. The name is Humanist TV Africa, but also you can send us an email. Our email is info@humanisttvafrica.com, or send us a WhatsApp message at +254 7473 56767. We are a registered NGO working around the world. We have physical studios in the US, we have studios in the UK, we have studios in Uganda, Kenya, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Nigeria, Ghana, and of course Sierra Leone. And we are growing. We are growing strength from strength. We are opening up more studios. We are looking for volunteers. We are an NGO that works with mainly volunteers. We want to open up as many studios in the world as possible. We want to give you debates. We want to give you issues that you don't normally listen to from the mainstream media. We shall be doing many street interviews very soon. We shall be coming to your city, and our crew will be asking you questions right in your cities. And on those streets, we'll be answering a few questions. And you hear people from Kumasi, Ghana, people from Abuja, Nigeria, people from Kampala, Uganda, Masaka, Uganda, Mbarara, and all these other cities in the world. They shall be doing these interviews and bring you so much information from the ground. Now, I want to encourage you so much to keep it immersive in Africa, and please keep subscribing. Keep subscribing. Keep it coming. Keep growing the numbers. We are here to motivate you. As you motivate us, we are here to educate you. As you educate us, we learn from you. As you learn from us, we're here to inspire, motivate, and of course, educate, inform with a bit of entertainment. We are an all-round TV station that is basically virtual, but also with physical offices in several countries. Remember to write to us, but also remember to subscribe. And please tune in for the next show tomorrow. Keep it immersive Africa, and of course, keep your hope alive. See you in the next one.
Tuungane sote na tushereke pamoja ushindi kwa ukombozi wetu. Tujitoe wenyewe, tusimame pamoja kulinda uhuru na umoja wetu. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote tuimbe pamoja, kuenzi shikamano hatima yetu. Tujitoe wenyewe kupambana pamoja, uhuru na umoja vitawale. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote na tujibidishe kutoa kilicho bora kwa Afrika. Chimbuko la wanadamu, chemchemi ya utamaduni.